What is up, Sooner Nation? Sooners win 34-19 against Tulane in a game that there's a lot to go over, Jay, in this game. It had good, it had bad, it had ugly. Good, bad, ugly. It had it all. And thanks for being here, watching here on the Sooner Surge YouTube channel. We appreciate it. Hit the like when you get on tonight. OU is 3-0. R. Mason Thomas looks like Eric Stryker right now. And the Sooners are 3-0 heading into SEC play, Jay.
That's right. It's a win. The way the game started, I'm kind of like, okay, this is a lot better than it's been. And then you kind of just let him hang around. And then after the pick six, honestly, you're just worried about winning the game at that point. And then they kind of pulled it away. I will say this, defensively, the interception from Bowman was massive, getting the ball on the side of the field and then actually scoring on that. The third down run by Jackson Arnold was huge. That was if you look at it, he finally left the pocket early enough and didn't hold on to it and just took off. And that was beneficial there because I think he was holding on the ball quite a bit. But at the same time, if you go watch, the left tackle and left guard were getting destroyed in the second half. And I think Bill Beatenbow kind of lit into him. But it was not pretty for about third quarter was bad. It was bad.
After halftime was bad offensively. The ugly, what was the pick six? Inexcusable, can't have it. Have to take the sack at that point. You can't force something in there, even though it looks like someone's open. You can't do it. Cannot have that, period. His legs today were really good. 187 yards rushing, I think, is what OU ends up with. 130 of those in the first half, though.
That's right. And Jackson Arnold, I believe, had 97 until that last run where he ran backwards. So he had most of it. I still am. I think the offensive set where they put two backs in there worked pretty good. They ran it a whole drive and it looked good. He was better. They were way better on third down.
It's Barnes and Tatum, Jay. That's who you got to go with right now.
Yeah, I don't understand they brought Sawchuk in the fourth quarter. It was like next to the last drive. I didn't understand it, but I think those are your two best backs, and I think Tatum's probably the best in my opinion. And Danny,
I'll say the play he made was absolutely ridiculously bad. Bad. He also had a lot of good today. I thought his legs today were really impressive compared to what it's been. He was hitting the ball over the middle. He missed Petaway on that one. The O-line was terrible in the second half. Terrible.
Yeah,
go back to the 12-minute mark, Jay, and watch when Dusty's showing how bad the line was. Every one of those plays, all three of the receivers are running like 3-yard turnarounds. They're not even. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, and Baker said OU isn't SEC ready based on the home crowd. Third quarter they showed the stands a couple times. Nobody was up top. I don't know where they all went. They left. If they went to the concession, nobody was there. Owenfield Hype says to me, outside offensive line, it's a young team with mistakes. O-line just rough. They were. I thought Ozida at first was playing pretty well. And then the more the game went on, I think he kind of got exposed a little bit. But it's his first kind of time he's really played that much. So you can't really – I mean, what do you expect? I think Tark, how many times can you line up too far in the backfield? You got to get that fixed. But
I did like Reagan's run after catch. Hey, there was a lot I wasn't impressed with Arnold. And then there was a lot of things that did impress me. His resilience I thought was good.
Here's a couple things. And this is my opinion of Arnold through 3 games. Okay, you ready for it? He is good at throwing the mid stuff down the middle of the field. Third down, he was a lot better today, hitting the slants. Those type of routes, he's got a good arm, got a cannon. Really good running the ball today. Really good on a couple of the reads and the fakes. He pulled it out and got a lot of yards.
He didn't get a lot of help either, though.
Let me finish. I tell you what, I've not been impressed with through 3 games. He hasn't really hit on the deep ball that much, and that was supposed to be a strength. When you get Petaway, when you got a tighter game like it is, and you get Petaway, and he's got 3 yards in the defender, got to make the throw.
Hey, he absolutely missed Petaway. However, he did throw one to Burks down the sideline where he caught it and was pushed out of bounds. That was a deep ball. He threw the one to the end zone, which was when Burks got pushed out of bounds on that one. It was right there. To me, you cannot excuse the pick six. It's the ugliest part of the game today. It was pathetic.
But
I think that the O-line was awful in the second half. And Jay, outside of Burks, and by the way, I've got to say something about Burks. He dropped a massive third down play. He did. That was a great throw by Arnold. And I don't like how he holds the ball out when he's running the ball. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah,
he's carrying it around like this.
We got to do this. We got to talk about this. Our Mason Thomas in the fourth quarter of the last few drives, unbelievable. It did remind me a lot of Eric Stryker. The dude was balling. But you know what? You can look at that fourth quarter. He was playing that way the whole game. Whether you got sacks or not, he was playing good against the run, good against the pass. He played great. They did utilize the tight ends in the first half. I thought Bauer Sharp caught a couple across the middle. Roberts caught one. But here's the thing. Receiver-wise, they never threw the ball to Thompson, not one time. So I don't know what that tells you. They threw it to Burks a lot. They threw it to Reagans, I think, once or twice, Kearney once. But other than Burks, I mean, until they get Anderson, what do they have out there on the receiver unit?
Jay, they need Arnold. They need Anderson and Anthony back. It will help things immensely. But
hey,
Jay, I've got to respond to that real quick. Time out. First off, I'm not making an excuse. I've already said the interception was ugly. It was the ugliest play of the entire game. Facts. But I'm also going to give the guy credit for realizing the pressure's coming and taking it to the house. That's a massive play. And by the way, to say that bum teams that OU's played and he's only put up those many numbers, he is not playing by himself. Like I'm not going to make an excuse for Jackson Arnold. I'm not. He almost had 100 yards rushing. He missed Petaway on the deep ball. He threw a third down great play to Burks. He dropped it. He threw the most horrible pick six I've ever seen. But the fact of the matter is, he's not putting numbers up by himself, guys. I don't know why you're going to sit here and think that he's going to put up numbers by himself.
Well, I think a couple things. First, I know the people saying put Hawkins in. Hawkins is younger than Jackson Arnold.
He can run the ball really well, though.
I don't know. I think that would be a dumb move. I think Arnold in the first half, I thought he played pretty well. I thought he played good. Second half, and this goes back to last week too. I don't know what it is about the second half, but that's 2 games in a row where they've been bad in the second half offensively.
No run game.
Hey, I will say this. Tennessee's going to be bringing pressure all day long on Jackson. If there's one thing you can say so far through 2 games, he does not handle the pressure very well, and that's with a young quarterback. That's what you can expect. I would hope OU does the same thing to Nico next week. They dial up pressure. To me, maybe you get some screens or some quick stuff to get out of that pressure.
Let me say this on the TD run real quick. Go ahead, Jay.
Real quick, and then you can get to Eric. Robert, this is probably my biggest
complaint for me.
Biggest complaint for me so far through 3 games is it's not only the no explosive plays. I don't ever sit there thinking they're going to get an explosive play. It's like not on my.
Who's it going to be? It's going to be Burks on something short that he takes to the house. That's all they got. Or Tatum. Or Taylor Tatum. Hey, as far as what do you mean I'm giving too much credit? I said it was a massive play in the game. How is that giving him too much credit? He recognized the pressure. The guy had the back of his jersey. He escaped and made one cut and took it to the house. He broke a tackle at the 5-yard line. It was a massive play in the game. That's a fact.
Eric, I will say this. He did do something that not a running back really did. He broke he made a cut and broke a tackle.
DG did have a massive run today, I heard. Hey, BV, the clock management before the kick was unbelievably bad. What are you doing? You've got to call a timeout there.
Yeah, the first half, I thought the 3 – But you know what? Why are you not snapping the ball? I mean, he's probably thinking they're going to snap. I mean, what are they waiting on? It's a field goal. By the way, Keltner looked good again. He drilled that 50-yarder.
Keltner looked really good today.
I mean, that's if you want to look at the positives, I mean, there are some positive to take from this game. They were up 21-0. This game should have been over. They were up 21-0. They couldn't put him away in the third quarter. They had a bad third quarter. It was awful offensively.
They get the drive right out of halftime, go get 3 instead of 7. And Josh Bates tonight got exposed too. They need Hickman back, Jay. They pressure up the middle all night.
Yeah, they need to. They need that. Yeah, and I hope Terry's not hurt either. He got up. I think he's probably
He's
okay.
fine. He's fine.
You know
Like.
what? I thought defensively, Sammy Omashigo had some moments, but then he also had some moments where he got lost. We don't want to get probably into this discussion yet, maybe later on, but I'm still the Woody Washington. I'm not on that train right now. I'm not.
I thought he played well at Cheetah for never playing it. I thought he was pretty good at Cheetah. He recognized 2 or 3 trick things they were doing. He's obviously very intelligent. Jacoby Johnson, I don't think was good. Jay, I want to go to this comment here because you have the slow tight end in motion. And really, Tatum couldn't get anything going second half, Jay. Was Tatum just awful second half, or was the line awful?
The line wasn't good.
Barnes averaged more than Taylor Tatum.
Well, I know, but
he averaged almost 4 yards a carry. Tatum was 3.3. I'm not sitting here saying anything. The offensive line was pathetic in the second half.
Tatum to me just looks a little different. I think
I agree, Jay. They didn't make any adjustments on the offensive end second half.
Hey, Monty, real quick, it's a little different here because they had to throw it and you could pin the ears back. And hey, I do want to say something here. Showtime, the only way too emotional. Defense was really good and offense showed improvement. I think that's a fact. I think he's right about that. I think the defense is really good, and I think the offense did show improvement. Take away the pick six from Arnold, this game isn't coming down to the end like that. Or it didn't come down. I'm just saying, like, you can't have pick sixes in any game. You just can't.
No. Hey, I thought I'm going to agree with April Country Dirksen. Here's the deal. That was, to me, that's a good win. We don't have to say great win. I think it's a really good win. They're 3-0. OU got on them early. It looks like OU found a little bit of some kind of identity, which is QB run game, along with the running the ball, middle of the field exposing. But I think until they get the receivers back, it's not going to look exactly what the offense is going to be like yet.
Yeah, Owen Field Hype says, I've been happy with Malone. So glad we got him. Malone's may have been the best.
Although he did the same thing Woody Washington did last week, and Woody got interference called, and people ripped Woody Washington.
Well, I agree. But
it was the same thing.
I think the difference was the Tulane receiver was also pushing. But, hey, he almost had a pick six, I thought, on that one. But he played good on the deep stuff with Mario Williams. I thought he hung with him pretty well. The pick six, the turnover that Oklahoma got, the interception off the tipped ball that Bowman got was massive. And to be able to score that, yeah, hit the light. Appreciate it, Mike.
Punt return. Bowen on punts looked a lot more comfortable today. So they figured that out. Keltner was really good. Defensive line continues to impress. Defensive line was getting pressure. A lot of the big completions that they had was off his back foot, chunking it up, and they had a guy open in the middle of the zone. The middle of the zone is kind of where they struggle today, OU.
And I think that's where Arnold's better across the middle of the field. But Clark said, I still think Tulane was a solid team. I think Tulane. I do too. I think they're a good team.
Chief, you were saying this in the Discord, and I agree. It's clear that our OC doesn't know how to make adjustments or get the ball in the hands of our playmakers. Call plays knowing our O-line is mid at best. Thanks to the soup, and I'm going to say something. Deion Burks caught probably his best yards in the second half of his fourth quarter. Basically, it was after they'd been struggling. Arnold they snapped the ball, and he immediately threw it to him. They lined up again on the next play. They still don't have a guy on him. The guy's 10 yards off the ball. I'm doing that play all night. I do want Burks to not hold the ball up here, though.
Yeah. How many catches he have? 9? 8 or 9, I think.
A lot. Burks is the player of the game on the offense.
Yeah. Real quick, Uncle Charlie. Thomas was a beast in that fourth quarter. Is he a starter? Yes, he's a starter. He actually played good the whole game. He just didn't make sacks early on, but he played good. Let's get to Talons here.
No adjustments by Seth Luttrell. It was pitiful.
Yeah, Talon says RSJ can't be out of position like he has been against Tennessee. Yeah, I agree. Game ball to Thomas has to be. Jay Jones, thanks for joining us. Jay, how you been, bro? Can't play off the 12 yards for our DBs.
I thought there was a lot playing off tonight.
Yeah, it does bother me when they have long drives. They had a long drive, I think, at the end of the first half and maybe the end of the third quarter. I'm trying to think, but they had a couple of long drives.
I agree with Chief that Taylor Tatum's RB1 and Barnes is number 2 and then Sawchuk's 3. The defense, guys, Tulane's offense isn't bad.
No, they're pretty good offense. I agree.
I thought OU played pretty well defensively. They gave up more big plays in the passing game today, but they got a lot of pressure. Even when they didn't get to the quarterback and get a sack, they forced him to throw it off his back foot, and he completed. And they made the catch the guy made on Bowman, Jay, when Bowman lays out in front of him. It's a great throw and catch. The one in the end zone over Bowman again. Great throw and catch. I thought Bowman was going to be able to knock that out.
Blake says Kearney needs to be the receiver that steps up.
I've been saying that.
Yeah, 14.
We are identical twins, Soren. Identical twins.
Yeah, 14 plays, 69 yards. That's a long drive. A lot of plays.
This game was weird, though, because OU owned the first half. Now, they were up 21-0 or 21-3 at half.
21-0. It went at half. 21-6 at half.
Yeah, 21-6 at half. That's right. And to me, Jay, it was 21-6, and it felt like OU was absolutely dominating that game. And it was still pretty tight.
Hey, real quick, April, why do these wins feel so depressing? It feels like
there's ugly pieces.
Let me say this. I think it's because it didn't need to be that way today. They could have put the game in the third quarter. They get the drive to start the third quarter. They get down there. They have to kick a field goal instead of a touchdown. And they just couldn't put it on their neck and end it. Like get it. If they would have got a touchdown ending in that third quarter, the game's probably over. Instead, you give them a touchdown offensively and you let them hang around. Can't happen.
Yeah, AJ
Petaway was open on that deep ball. You got to complete that.
He was open. Got to put more air in there and complete it. Hey, to me, the passing game's got to get figured out. I don't know what the answer is. I hope getting some receivers back and having more protection.
What do you think about Chris's comment?
We started with tempo and looked. I agree. They look better in tempo, Jay.
I agree.
The line to me has an advantage in tempo. They're not blocking well when they're waiting. So I think you attack and just get some of that going because they do look more better under tempo.
Let's talk about the O-line for a second. You started out with Sexton at left guard, Howland at left tackle, and then you got
benched quickly.
Parkland and Fabetti on the right side. Yes, that they got benched very quickly. Howland did. And then they moved Sexton over, which I've been wanting, and then they brought in Ozida. I think Ozida at first started off pretty good. I do think as the game went along, and it's more in the communication and the pickup of the blitzes, they had some bad communication errors over there, especially that left side. And that's part of the problem too, is Sexton hasn't been playing tackle. I think when you're moving guys around like that, you're going to have issues like that. You got to figure it out.
Hey, I got to get here. Is it Bros with Mics? Are you asking if we'll join for a video? Email us. ousportsroundup@gmail.com. ousportsroundup@gmail.com. If you're wanting to get together, maybe do some podcast, OU Tennessee week, the week everyone's kind of been waiting for. OU goes in there unscathed. So that's good. Timothy, appreciate the super third game where halftime adjustments weren't. Yep, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Jay, I did like Sexton at tackle.
Yeah.
If Everett comes back, does he take over at guard over Ozida? Let me tell you again, it's ousportsroundup@gmail.com. Or you can put your email, however you feel like you want to do. ousportsroundup@gmail.com.
Jen is already dropping the pick, 48-20. No chance.
Have not seen the spread. I think
listen, OU's defense, they're not scoring 40 points on Oklahoma's defense. I would be shocked.
Does EPL come in at guard, Jane? Could be.
Again, we're in game 4. If you're going to play him, why hadn't he played?
Well, they went to Ozida. Ozida was pretty good in the first half. Second half, he wasn't, Jay.
Yeah, it was good to see Bill Beatonville fired up over there. I agree, Chief. Jen says, when we get receivers back, it'll be much better, but I'm not twisted tonight because of what I saw in the first. Okay.
So, Jay.
But wait. Before the game, it was released that Nick Anderson probable.
And he's in full uniform, so is Andrew Anthony.
If he's probable and can play, I would love to see him get out there.
Don't you think they both play next week?
Jeremy, at this point, I don't know. I don't know.
Eric's got a close one.
Call out the
Eric's got a close one.
What?
Eric's got a close one. I figured he's going to have Tennessee killing him.
Nick Anderson will play. I'm speaking it in existence. Way to go, Owen Field hype.
Jay, what was the best thing about the OU offense, in your opinion?
Well, they got a little bit of a running game, but my concern it was mostly quarterback. They did have a little bit of
problem.
They did have a little bit with Barnes and Tatum there when they were running that two-back set. They had some good play calls on the running backs coming out of the backfield, but the biggest improvement, I think, offensively was third down conversions. You can't argue.
Absolutely.
They were really good on third down conversions. If they would have been 1 for 11 like in game 1, or last week when they were 3 for whatever, they probably lose this game. I mean,
hey, let me say this. After the most horrific pick six I've seen, just absolutely ridiculous decision. I will say Arnold came in. They had a third down play. They picked up the blitz on that one, and he threw a dime to Burks, who dropped it. I thought that was pretty good there. And then, of course, they get the touchdown run. So at least there was some fight.
What's up, Stubby? How are you tonight?
I don't like how there's no quarterback coach on the sideline either.
Yeah, teams, they have those two guys. Teams don't respect our run, which is crazy to see. You know what? They didn't expect the quarterback to keep it. I will say that. The two that he had, I honestly, watching the game, I thought Tatum had him. I didn't even know he pulled him out. And
hey, listen, the OU-Tennessee game, OU's got to score 28 to win. If they can get to 28, I think they can win the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can get to 28 on Tennessee's DJ. If the O-line is this bad, how are they blocking the defensive line at Tennessee?
That's the thing. You're going to have to score some points to beat them.
You may have to get some turnovers, special teams.
I got a low scoring game
right
now. I got a low scoring right now. Here's my final for that game. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I got OU winning 20-17.
Okay. Hey, I've got to ask something though.
Yeah.
I saw Bates let a guy go unscathed. I saw one on Jackson Arnold's QB draw. Brennan Thompson and Logan Howland and Bauer Sharp were all spinning around. There were 3 Tulane guys, and none of them were hitting them.
Hey,
that's a problem.
Yeah, and Ron brings up a great point here. They're not going to do it because they're already in game 4 and they're not blowing anybody out. That's the problem with not blowing people out.
Arnold won't last with this much pressure and him running the ball that much.
He's going to take some hits in SEC play. He doesn't slide that often. He did today and got his head taken off almost. But
hey,
yeah,
is he better at scrambling than you thought? Because he also made a play where he scrambled and tightrope the sideline for about 17 yards.
Yeah, he's doing fine with his legs.
And Jay, a couple of times he scrambled and rolled out. There's no one to throw the ball to on those. He absolutely missed Petaway. That was going for 6. He made the most horrific play of the season when he threw the pick 6. It was pitiful. But I did like some things that I saw from tonight. So
and Stubby's right. The running of Arnold has helped the offense. I mean, it helps it. But
they'd be nowhere without it.
Well,
there wouldn't be an offense.
Well, you got to figure.
Burks was good tonight. Burks was good outside, slinging the ball like this, and that drop.
There's a couple things that bothers me about so far through 3 games of watching Jackson Arnold this year. There's 2 things I think he's got to improve upon. Okay, I said it earlier. The deep ball, he's got to connect on a few of those. Those are big plays. The Petaway was a touchdown. The other one is, and this is a young quarterback, but when they bring pressure, this is going to sound crazy, but you know what?
Don't even say Landry Jones.
Landry Jones. And
Landry Jones couldn't have scrambled any of those.
Will you let me? You don't like to let me finish talking. Let me finish. He is a little bit like Landry Jones in the fact that sometimes when the pockets, he just kind of went in a ball. And he waits a little too long. Jeremy, he's a young quarterback. It's totally different. He's way more of a scrambler than Landry Jones. Landry Jones couldn't run for anything. He's way better than that. I'm saying the pocket presence so far, I think that's one thing. He will improve upon it. That's what I think. He will improve upon it because he's a young quarterback.
I think how Reader says it's probably – hey, Jay, did he take sacks? Maybe he shouldn't have. Absolutely did. I can't believe how much pressure they were getting on him in the second half after the first half. I can't believe it. I don't think we saw the two running back set in the second half. But to me, Jay, let's talk defense for a few minutes.
Real quick, I am not comparing him to Landry Jones as the player all around. I'm just saying in the presence part, the pocket presence part. That's all.
Hey, Logan Howland did not get injured. They benched him. Hey, Jay, Billy Bowman went out in the fourth quarter, and they played Bowen.
Correct.
I will say a lot of people are saying that at Denton Geyer that Jackson Arnold was a dual threat. Absolutely, he was. I think they got away from that in the second half.
Yeah, and let me get to this.
I think they thought they were going to run away with it, so they weren't going to risk it. They have to. That's their identity. They're going to have to go with it, Jay, until you get these guys back that can maybe stretch the field a little, or I don't know.
Yeah, and I'll say that this comment here, he's dead on, because I think you got to play to the strengths of the team, and if it's move the ball a little bit and punt, play time of possession, I think in this game against Tennessee that would favor Oklahoma.
Hey,
they did have some holding.
Dominic Williams got just tackled. Couple of plays I want to point out by the defense. We haven't talked enough about the defense. Here's some great positive things. Let's go. Positive thing. Their quarterback scrambled outside, Jay. Grayson Halton, that put pressure on him. Grayson Halton was able to stay with him and force him out of bounds. That shows a lot because that guy's got speed. Grayson Halton, great job there. I thought Dominique Williams, DeJoun Terry, Grayson Halton, all those guys in the middle. You're going to believe I'm saying this. I thought Trace Ford did some things today, getting his hands up, put some pressure on. Caden Woolard's by far best game was tonight. PJ Adebore's best game today. R. Mason Thomas by far best game today. The guy who was kind of missing a little bit in the pass rush was Ethan Downs.
And Chief's right. Kobe looked good. He started today.
Kobe looked good.
You know, they played Kobe McKenzie, Danny Stutzman, Kip Lewis. They also played Kanik. You know who I didn't see today? Lewis Carter. Did you see him?
Lewis Carter, I don't think played a single snap unless it was on.
I didn't see him on special teams either.
Special teams.
I didn't see him. Hey, real quick,
Mark Jackson is not the passer Landry Jones was. Absolutely not. But they also don't have the weapons. But he's not right now at all. Maybe Landry Jones' freshman year.
Danny Stutzman had a great game.
Stutzman was unbelievable.
DeShaun Terry did get hurt. I don't know how bad it is.
DeJoun Terry got hurt, but he looked fine on the sideline sitting there. I believe, Chief, Danny Stutzman everywhere. Everywhere.
Jenna says Anderson, he's got to get back. That's all there's to it. Let me say this about Bauer Sharp. Bauer Sharp caught three balls, I think, total, maybe two across the middle of the field. He's got to be able to break that tackle on that little
escapability is not what I thought it was.
That's one. The other thing is this. I'm going to have to watch the game again, and I will later tonight, probably late. But he still struggles in the blocking aspect. From what I watched today, now I have to go back. Maybe he was better than I thought.
He's not good, Jay. When he is good, they run the ball better. Kendall Dolby was hurt. He was out. It was announced that he was going to be out before the game. I know Stone played special teams because he literally climbed over the offensive lineman and almost blocked that one kick that was missed, the 50-something yarder. Climbed over the lineman. It was pretty impressive for a guy his size.
Yeah, they do need Dolby back.
Jake Roberts played. Jake Roberts was on the field a lot.
Caught one ball.
He was on the field a lot, Uncle Charlie. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure he's 20 yet. I don't know.
Lots of playmakers on defense, guys.
You know what's crazy? Let me tell you this. You'll be shocked to probably hear this. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. They have the ball. One of the big drives. Guess who's on an island over there by himself? Eli Bowen. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes left, and he's playing. They're playing a ton of guys on defense.
They are playing a lot of depth on defense, Jay. Multiple. Jaron Kanek played quite a bit, some. And
hey, you know what I've noticed from Danny Stutzman this year? Maybe it's just me. Maybe you guys would agree or not. I don't know. Is he hitting people harder, like dead on? It seems like he's hitting people dead on this year.
There has not been a lot of missed tackles. I'll say that.
No, the tackling's been good. That
Man,
touchdown, yes.
Burks almost made a heck of a play coming back in bounds.
Yeah, and this is right. That touchdown they got, he should have never got in there. They should have stopped him at the 1 yard line. He shouldn't have got in.
That was bad.
He was in, though, because you can't overturn
it. It was the correct call. It was bad not stopping him short.
I saw some people saying they didn't like the referees. They thought it was bad. I thought the refs were pretty good tonight.
Jay, Caden Durham was unbelievable for LSU today. Guy who OU thought they had. OU thought they had Durham and Taylor Tatum. I think Taylor Tatum, the play he made on the screen pass, Jay, where he just accelerated, was special.
Yeah, now they were holding. I will agree with Jen on that. Talent says Ethan Downs is not showing too much production. Here's what I'll say about Ethan Downs.
Good against the run is what he is.
He is, and there was a couple passes he got in there and made it a hurry. I think it's also you're saying that after R. Mason Thomas just destroyed them in the fourth quarter. That's probably the best defensive end game I've seen in a long time from an Oklahoma.
You need Ethan Downs. You need him. He's solid. I did like seeing PJ Adebawore basically bull rushing the guy several times.
Yeah.
He collapsed the pocket.
Called that last stream. Tatum would get at least 24 yards, but I don't know what that yards was today.
It was, I think, 12 or so, maybe less.
Yeah.
Jaden Jackson. Hey, Jaden Jackson did some great things today. One play, he got pushed over to the side and got off the block, came back and grabbed the guy by the waist. That was a great play. I think he is so heady. I think he's really good.
Yeah, even when he doesn't make the play, he causes some havoc to get. You know what? This is probably through 3 games the best I felt defensively against the run in a long time. I don't feel like a team's just going to go run it all over. Now, I will say this: secondary, I'm still got some questions.
Hey, and listen, Mez, you're right, Jay. And look at that number. I mean, that's excellent defense against that guy. I think what part of the big reason though is they limited the running game. They made him very, very one-dimensional. I want to get to Monty. I was saying it. I thought the one in the end zone, I thought he was going to tip it and knock it away. He didn't do it. I thought the other one, he had great coverage. He comes across, he can't get his hand on it. The interception was he was in the right place at the right time. He didn't really – I mean, that wasn't like a great play by him. That was more of Kenai Walker. He did have his hand wrapped around their defender. Chief, thanks for the super again. Appreciate you so much.
I'm trying to get his other comment on there. He just made another one. Let me see if I can get it. There it is.
Tatum is our Percy Harvin. Get the kid the ball. And he is, and maybe Deion Burks can be that guy too. No jet sweeps tonight, guys.
Hey, what do you think about this comment? And I agree with
pathetic, Jay.
Michael Tarquin in like 4 plays, 2 times he was lined up in the backfield.
That's on Tarquin. That's on Arnold too.
That's what I said. Is that not the quarterback and say, scoot up, Michael? Scoot up.
He should have seen. Now, can you still scoot up after that? That's what I'm saying. I thought Arnold should have noticed that. Hey,
somebody answer this question for me in the chat, okay? Somebody answer this question for me that I'm getting ready to ask. Is this the first week you've seen the signs on the sideline with the banner?
Jason, I think that they did that because of this
school.
Because of this last week.
Well, he got new speakers in his helmet. You know what? I think maybe they're just preparing for road games too.
He didn't do this near as much tonight.
They were holding him up like old school tonight, which I kind of liked.
Hey, I like the comment by Chris Rhodes. We're used to having to outscore everyone, but now we have a whole different style. And look, if OU can shorten the game against Tennessee, create some turnovers, and play smash mouth, hit a bootleg, go over the middle of the field, and if you can get Anderson back and Anthony back, this team, I still think, can be better than a lot of people are thinking right now. Keep it old school, Clark says. Keep it old school. Ron, I'm not saying Tennessee's fearing coming to Norman. Josh Heupel's going to be amped up. The Sooner fans are going to be amped up. And listen, this is a challenge right now to Sooner fans. It was pathetic. I'm done with this. I can't stand it's got to get louder, guys. I actually thought at the beginning of the game it wasn't bad. It's just people got bored. I don't understand why. It was a great game to get fired up and get in it and try to cause havoc, and it just never did.
Well, third quarter they left. A lot of them, I don't know where they went. C+ offense. Would you think that's a good grade, Crystal?
Yeah, because I think it was probably A- or B+ in the first half and a D in the second half.
I would agree with that. See,
and it would have been an F. It would have been an F if they had won 24-19. But they get the pick, and Arnold's able to scramble for 21 yards in a hole that I guess anyone could have made.
Jenna left in the third quarter because she was bored. You know what? Offense got to be better. Third quarter, they laid an egg.
They didn't make any adjustments. It was pathetic. And the weather, I agree. But once they're able to pin their ears back at the end, and I will say this, Fan Stop, they rotated more people, and I think that's going to help them. I think it's going to help them in the long run.
Hey, I am Star Sports. I didn't see the tweet from Bob Persbillo. I saw it during the game. They kind of scanned it up there, and I was like, oh, my gosh, where are the students? But you know what? It's Tennessee this week. There's no excuses. And you know what? Probably
the students have no excuse.
Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I saw a comment. I'm not going to read it. Moving on.
Hey, Jay.
Yes.
No student, unless you have a class, which you know has an excuse. Like if you're an OU fan, be at the game.
Hey, great question or great comment here from Jason Crawford. Asking about the zone defense. They played more zone tonight than I think they played in the first two games or today. Did you think so?
Jay, I hate the zone. I've said it before. Hey, real quick, Jay, do you have the hat in front of you?
Yes, right here.
Everybody that's on here, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. They're the only ones that have that hat. They're based out of Oklahoma, officially licensed gear. Great people at the Fan Stop. Get that hat or sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club and use code SEARCH for 10% off your first 3 months. They have two packages, a T-shirt package and also a long sleeve shirt package that gives you a few long sleeve shirts or a hoodie along with T-shirts different months. So,
hey, do you remember the score of the OU Temple game first half?
Instead of, not along with. What was that, Jay?
Do you remember the score at halftime of OU Temple? Was it
I do not recall that, Jay.
31-3 or 31-0?
I do not recall.
If I remember right, second half they scored 7 points. They could because they got a defensive turnover and a special something. I think in 3 games the second half's been awful in every game. Every game.
Lance says, "Thank you, OU football. I'll take it and run." And listen, Lance, I think that's what everyone. Right. People can say that this is a horribly ugly win. Whatever. A win is a win is a win. And Daniel Brooks right here is saying Seth Luttrell is the problem. And Daniel, we talked about it last night. And if you haven't checked it out, go check out the live from last night on our channel. Daniel Brooks joined us. But Daniel, there were no adjustments in the second half. The best part of the offense was the QB run game. It was pathetic. Jay, were there any outside running plays? There was one.
Yeah, they ran a couple. I just
not much creativity, Jay.
Well, you know,
even in the passing game, they got 3 or 4 guys in the passing game running like 3-yard curls.
Hey, yeah, win is win. We're fighting. That's all that matters. You know what you haven't seen really at all since the first week was Burks down the middle of the field going. You haven't seen a whole lot of that. I don't know on offense. I struggle with this. I struggle with the revolving door at running back a little bit. I feel like you don't know who's going to be back there.
Well, I will say this. We said this last night, Daniel. You said it. I've said it. The first half, Jay, what was one wrinkle they did way better than they done the first 2 games?
First half?
They threw the ball to the running backs out of the backfield, not just a flare screen. They hit the running back. Salchuk caught the first play of the game for 5 or 6. Javonte Barnes caught a couple. Taylor Tatum scores on it. Like, at least there was something in the first half.
I think the drive in the first half when they led 2 backs and they moved him around quite a bit was their best drive, and that was probably the most creative play calling on the pass to Tatum and all that. If you go look at the first drive, there wasn't a whole lot of creativity. It was just on 3rd down and 6, they were picking up the first down. Tell me if you think this. Do you see more of an NFL style offense than a college here with this offense?
What they should do?
Do you see it? No. Do you see more of like?
No, that doesn't look like an NFL offense. No,
what?
That does not look like an NFL offense. But what they should do is try to maybe do more of that. Quinn, Archie Manning time.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Ewers is out, injured.
Hey, question.
That's a great
EPL
question.
Play. I never saw EPL play, and I'm going to say this, Chester. Oh, let's give Chester some credit. OU covered when all week people said they had no chance at covering.
That's true.
And I did say OU offense would score 4 TDs, and they did. You take away the pick six, which you can't. It was pitiful. It was ugly. I thought OU quarterback run game was great. I thought they showed glimpses today, even in the passing game, a little bit with Kearney, a little bit. Reagan's caught that one, but they've got to get their guys back in the receiver room.
Yeah, and Mr. Dilligaff, thanks for joining. I said Jackson Arnold was going to get 3 TDs. You're right. Who would have thought the running game was that way, though, that he was going to do? Nobody said if he's out for how long, Lori. Nobody said. I was going to get to Lori's comment up here. What was it? Yeah, this is a great question, Lori. Whose defense is better, OU or Tennessee? I think OU's is better because of their experience. I think they're better. And Brent Venables' 3rd year, I think they're a better defense. It's at home. The problem is Tennessee's offense is way better than Oklahoma's right now.
Yeah, something's going to have to – look, OU can hang defensively. The line was 14.5, I thought. I thought it dropped to 14.5.
13 and a half, I thought.
OU wins by 15. So they covered.
Correct.
Blake says Tatum utilized like Mixon. I like that. I mean, Tatum's a good pass catcher. I do love the call by Seth Luttrell on the Tatum pitch out, throw back to Jackson Arnold. If they could get by one guy, there's no one to the end zone. No one except for Heath Azida blocking there. It was going to be a touchdown. He had to go low to get it.
I like that call. People in the Discord hated it. I liked it. I thought it was great.
I would have liked to have seen Arnold go downfield before the ball was thrown, though, and get behind the guy. Reader Hunt. Jay, are you going to show that one?
Yeah, I'm going to get to it. I'm trying to get
to it. Yeah, Missouri, close game, win by 6. Missouri wins by 6. How much is Joe John on the hook for this, too? Look, people want to forget that co-OC is next to Joe John Finley's name. It is. That's right. That is right. He shouldn't be off the hook.
That's right. That's a good point, Reader. And
I thought Barnes ran well tonight, Jay.
I thought he ran hard.
He ran hard. That's probably a better way of putting it.
I do think maybe vision-wise, he was better tonight. But
no wiggle. There's no wiggle.
Well, it's like there was one play in particular I'm thinking of. It was great blocking up front, and they got him with the safety, and the safety got him down. That's one you would like to see him be able to get by and have a long run.
Yeah, and Kyle, Bowen played defense even in the 4th quarter. They sat Bowman for a second. Here's what I'm going to say. RSJ has been really, really good. You cannot bench RSJ right now. Now, if Bowen could have played some cheetah tonight, I wouldn't have hated that.
Yeah, and Jason's not wrong here.
Not wrong.
Here's the thing, guys. They're 3-0, and they're playing their first SEC game. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this game next week.
This week is going to be fun. Hey, Chester,
yeah.
Tatum did prove that he can pick up a blitz. He proved it. That was great to see. That's why I think he deserves more playing time when he starts doing things like that.
Hey, Chester, I'm with you on Gavin Sawchuk, and I'll be the first one to admit I'm totally wrong. I was totally wrong on Gavin Sawchuk. When the season started, I said he's far and away the best running back. Now, I don't know if I'd put him – I'd probably put him 3 right now, and I hate that. But to me, even when – if there's no hole, that's fine, but he's losing yards because he's waiting on something, and I don't know.
Wow, Chief says Ewers' helmet has been taken away, I guess concussion protocol. Manning throws a TD on the first pass.
You better be ready. They're going to want Manning to play the rest of the year.
That's probably the best thing that could happen for anyone that's not Texas fans. QB controversy. What's the score on that game, Chief?
Doesn't matter. They're playing UTSA. Come on.
They're going to win more than 8 games, Ron. I mean, sorry. I'm not going to be happy if they win 8 games. I still got them at 9-3, 6 more wins.
21-0.
Okay, yeah, blowout.
There hasn't been very many good games today, and there won't be. I think tonight's schedule's pretty weak.
Weak schedule. Oregon put it to Oregon State.
Oregon, the best game of the year they've had. They dominated. They did what they thought they were going to do the first 2 games.
Crystal said Gundy expressed his concern over Arnold taking too many hits. Well, at least they have Hawkins.
That's true. He does. The way he runs, kind of tall, and he kind of takes some big hits. So
yeah,
DG did have a good. You're right.
I haven't looked at the stats. I know he had a great first half.
I think Caden Durham had over half LSU. By the way,
he did, Jay. He did.
I will say, first half, 21-0. I felt pretty dang good about Oklahoma, and I thought, okay,
they had a little bit of an identity, Jay.
They were starting to, but then it just kind of like implodes, and that's the frustrating thing. And not only implode, they were in the second half. They weren't not scoring. They weren't getting first downs. They weren't even they were going backwards yard-wise. I mean, penalties. It was just bad overall second half offensively. And you know what? Maybe it's good. You know, the end of the first half, the defense didn't look good. There was 2 possessions in a row they got beat on and drove down the field on. Maybe it gives you something to look at film-wise. You really need Dolby back, I think, at Cheetah. I think they missed him tonight. But defensive line, they played strong, I thought, against the run. I mean, hey, if you've watched Tulane at all this year, their running back's pretty good. And they kind of shut him down.
Hughes is good, Jay. Yeah, who's going to step up? I don't know. Jay, I'm not – I think OU might have a package for Hawkins in SEC play.
I would be shocked, but
the way the offense running game is, if you could put a little option and kick, because that wouldn't be bad.
I'm with you, Kyle Turney. I'm with, and you know what? It's not even that. It's this: the guys that are injured, like at some point, either they're playing or they're out. Like let's just not mess around with it anymore. You need to play the 5 linemen that you know you're going to be ready next week. And
hey, what's funny, Jay? What's funny is I've got to get to a couple of things here. First, Brennan Thompson played a whole lot. I don't know why people, even in the Discord, were saying, "Where's Thompson?" He played. He was playing. Daniel says, "I've been flowing there and holding all." Yeah, I guess that's what it is. But if they don't play next week, I'm done.
Hey, Daniel, you very well may be true. My question would be, why are they doing that? Like, OU offensively right now doesn't look good. To me, if you got guys that can play, they should have played today. And I'm just saying, as a coaching thing, play them. You play the guys that you're going to play against Tennessee if they're healthy, because you got to get some type of rhythm. They got it in the first half a little bit, and they will be better with Nick Anderson. It's a fact. He can block downfield. He can catch all of it. They will be 10 times better. They won't be. I don't think this offense is an offense that's going to score quickly. I just don't know if they have. I don't know if that's in this offense. And that, to me, you know why I say that? It's not the players. I don't know if they have a scheme and some creativity enough to do that yet.
Chester, Kobe McKenzie got the star. I thought Kobe did some good things. There's a couple in zone where he missed. Again, didn't get back in zone coverage. Kearney did not start the game, Jay. Brennan Thompson started.
Yeah, Sooner Cowboy says BV is a stats guy, maybe too much. I don't know if he's talking about his press conference. He does like to throw the stats out there. Is OU going to get another SEC Player of the Week? I think they will. R. Mason Thomas. R. Mason Thomas looked like Eric Stryker. I thought Caden Woolard and PJ Adebawore had good games when they got in there. The defensive line was great. Danny was everywhere tonight. And Steve says, take away the pick six. That is right. If you would have said I had OU winning 33-13. So take away the pick six. That's exactly what they allowed.
against a pretty good offense. Best offense they faced, Jay, yes or no?
The fact, yeah, so far, big time, yeah. The quarterback's way better than he was today. OU kind of made him look not as good, but he's a good quarterback. Hey, Steve, you bring up a great point. I don't think, me personally, I wasn't even worried that OU could lose that game the way they were playing until the pick six, until they handed it to him. You cannot give another team free touchdowns, especially this offense can't do it. You got to take the sack, and like somebody said earlier, at that point, the way the punter's doing, you got to play field position. And if you have to punt, you have to punt. Make a team go score 2 touchdowns on this defense. That's what you have to do.
Hey,
can't help them out.
Someone said Tulane, that dude's running open. Ron, here's what I'm going to say. Jay, and I'm going back to all year. A lot of the open guys they found a soft spot in the zone. They're not really going man-on-man and beating guys. They're finding spots in the zone. That's kind of been the weakness so far in the secondary. It's not like they're just burning a dude. Kenai got beat early. RSJ was over the top. I think he was going to absolutely destroy that guy and knock him in half. But, Jay, RSJ's been good on the back end.
RSJ's been good. And I saw let me get to this comment.
Tulane's not terrible at all. They're better than Tulsa.
Yeah, Jason, it was kind of interesting. They would, a lot of those plays that you're talking about, it would be like their last read, and it was just kind of like a safety valve, I think. And they were just a little late to get over there. But the defense, to me, played really good. I mean,
hey, I thought that Tulane tried a couple trick things. And I know one was that formation where it was like the flea flicker type play. The tight end goes in the end zone. Woody Washington's got it covered up. I thought that was great. He recognized it early. They did do that reverse. Dominique Williams sniffed it out. Dominique sniffed it out, was in the backfield. Bowman headed straight to the outside to the sideline on that one.
Yeah.
To the sideline and instead of getting up in there on that one.
Hey, I agree with Talon and Blake. I think Tulane's a good team. I think they will win their conference. They very well could win out. Very well. I think they're a good team. I was kind of surprised Temple today was hanging with Coastal Carolina. I don't know what the final was. They were down 7 in the fourth quarter. Fan stop. Arnold had to stay behind the line of scrimmage because the lineman was already downfield getting ready to block for him. Is that on the interception you're talking about, fan stop?
I don't know, but hey, Jay, Tulane's going to win a lot of games. Mensah leaves Tulane and Summerall bounced for. I like Summerall a lot. I think he's a great coach. I loved when they interviewed him. It was great. Well, Mensah, though, 42% today. OU held him in check, even though they had guys open. If you would have told me OU was going to hold him to 42% completion, 14 of 33, I would have said, give me it right now. I'll take it.
Hey, and gosh, what was I going to say?
Is there a QB controversy in Texas right now?
Well, let me say something about this, okay? Arch Manning is a really good quarterback. And what I don't think people talk about enough is how right now I think it's affecting Jackson Arnold, the fact that there's not really a quarterback on staff. Like Steve Sarkisian, he's known to coach quarterbacks. That's what he does. I mean, the backup quarterback's going to be ready and prepared. And for sure, Manning, after sitting out all next year, I think Sarkisian's a great offensive quarterback coach. I don't think OU has that there right now.
Hey, one thing I do like about playing Tulane this week, Jay, Mensah is not Nico, okay? Nico.
It does help a little bit.
But it does help because I think there's some similarities in their game.
Hey, and the people saying quarterback controversy, if Ewers is healthy, there's no way they're benching him. Right? Come on.
Right. He's been good, and he led him to the playoff last year, Jay. So.
Yeah, he didn't really run that much. He kind of stayed and threw it. He wouldn't take off, which I thought was kind of interesting. Yeah, they are playing UTSA. Now, I don't know what OU is.
Tyler Keltner was good.
Looks
and
really
I'm going to
good.
say a couple things. To not use a timeout on the 50-yard field goal was bad. But here's what I think. And maybe they'll ask BB this. I think he thought that they were going to snap the ball. I don't know why they waited so long. Just snap it.
Yeah, Uncle Charlie, we're going to have a lot of stuff this week with the Tennessee game. But is Nico one of those guys that will take off and run? Yes. He can run. He can throw. Here's what I would say. OU, the rest of the way, I think the three toughest quarterbacks that they'll play, and when I say tough, I mean as far as it's going to give them the most trouble, are going to be Nico, Jackson Dart, and Jalen Milroe. Those three. I don't think Cook will give him as much trouble as those three, and I don't think Ewers would, or Manning. I think the fact that those three guys can run and run the ball well, that dual threat could that's going to give you a challenge. Those three to me, Jackson Dart's playing great this year, by the way. I cannot wait to hear the Josh Heupel stuff this week. And if Josh Heupel could score 80 next week, he would do it, hands down. So better not be going 3 and out next week very often, because he is going to, and he's going to be taking shot after shot after shot deep, I think that's going to be his MO. He's going to try to take him deep.
I did not see Lewis Carter today, unless he played special teams. He never got in on defense.
I didn't see.
Daniel says, I agree. We don't have a quarterback mind on the staff. Jackson looks like he's lacking in his development. The amount of running reminds me of Trevor. A lot of running, no downfield passing. I don't know about the downfield passing.
No. Hey, Topher.
They took 2 or 3 shots, was it, all night.
Topher, I know those 3 guys are there. The only one of those guys that's played quarterback is J.P. Lawson, though, if I remember right.
Correct. And he's not experienced as a coach. What is he, like 31 years old, maybe younger?
Yeah, I mean, he does help with the quarterbacks.
Hey, someone's asking, so let's just get to it because it's about time. Everybody listen right now. Listen, we want you to hit the like, okay? We want you to set your clock. We were an hour before the game. We've gone almost an hour here, and guess what? We're going to make it a trifecta. We're going an hour at 9:30. We're going to get off here, go have dinner, spend some time with our family and loved ones, and we will be back on here at 9:30. So set your clocks. We'll break down the game more. We'll start looking towards Tennessee, talk about the Georgia-Kentucky game maybe. Be on here at 9:30. Why would you not? Why would you not be on here tonight?
That's right. I mean, what else can you say? Are you going to bring out the trumpet tonight?
I'll keep it like usual, Jay, the day before the game. Appreciate everyone. Thanks for the supers from Reader, from Timothy, from Chief a couple of times. Appreciate you all. Be on tonight at 9:30. We'll break down the stats. We'll go over it all. Good win for the Sooners today. 3-0 heading into SEC play. Let's get after it. It's OU Tennessee week, the week we've all been waiting for. Let's go. Boomer.